One of the things I think is really important about human consciousness, and I know that term is a weird one, is the fact that it's kind of doubled, isn't it? Kind of doubled. I mean, it has names, people talk about self-reflexive consciousness, those kind of things. But the experience, I think, is like, as I say, doubling. Let me just see if I can explain what I mean by that. You know, it's almost as if, you know, at the same time we're having an experience, we're also having it again. At the same time, I mean, I suppose I'm thinking here about somebody like Gerald Edelman's stuff, where he talks about, he's a neuroscientist, where he talks about the remembered present. It's a great phrase, a remembered present. And I don't know if it's an analogy or whether he means it for real, but he's talking about it like in relation to memory. Like here we are, we can be in the real world, doing the things that we do, you know, fully engaged in the sensory world that we inhabit. But at the same time, we've got memories going on in our heads, you know. We can remember our fourth birthday in quite a vivid detail, albeit possibly half constructed and wrong, but we can still do it, you know. We can remember our birthday, or we can remember the Christmas that's just gone, or we can remember last night, New Year's Eve, or we can remember, you know, this morning, or I can remember just a few minutes back, you know, when I stepped out of the woods onto this path. You know, I can, with very little effort, I can recreate that, and in multimedia detail, I can remember what it felt like to lift my foot off the mud onto the kind of shale of the path. You know, I can remember these things quite clearly, and they're overlaid onto this experience that I'm having right now. And what Edelman, I think, is saying is that that process is what we do all the time, but we're doing it live. You know, so the process of my being here at this moment is being replayed and overlaid on top of itself. So this moment, even the present moment, not the past, but the present is itself being simultaneously remembered, being represented. So there's two things going on. I'm in the world, and I'm remembering myself in the world simultaneously. I mean, we don't think of it in those terms. You know, obviously that's just, it feels like how it feels. This is what we've grown up with. You know, oxygen doesn't have a smell, you know, and the remembered present doesn't have anything particular feeling about it. It's just what it is. I was thinking about last night as well, actually, because I was driving out last night in the car to get the pizzas, and I was driving down the bypass heading towards Crewe, and I don't know, I just suddenly became aware that, oh yeah, there's the road, alright, I'm driving on the road and doing all the things that driving down a road requires. But then I could switch between doing that and then seeing the windscreen and seeing the road framed within the windscreen. You know what I mean? I can kind of toggle between being in the world, doing the road thing, and then being in the moment of being in the world, being in the vehicle of being in the world, seeing through the windscreen. And I'm kind of stepping back into the second chamber, this kind of echo chamber, this little hall of mirrors where the remembering goes on before it comes forward again, or before it, I don't know, something like that anyway. This weird same to you doubled thing that's going on between front and back, or between now and now. You know what I mean? So it's not just like, yeah, like an echo, I guess, but it's an echo which has, I don't know, some value. Maybe it has some function. Kind of free floats, doesn't it? The echo. Once the experience has made its echo, then it becomes available for the kinds of things. You know what I mean? I think. So there isn't just the mumbo jumbo of the world. There's also the second mumbo jumbo that accompanies the mumbo jumbo. But we don't think of it as an echo, as I say. You know, we just hear the mumbo jumbo, and that's what life is like. It's always doubled. It's always echoing. It's always got this second echo chamber where something else goes on, perhaps, and it's the echoing. It's the reflections between in this hall of mirrors. This self-reflexiveness, you know, where self comes to being out of that reflexiveness. Contemporary consciousness arises and forms itself, or gives itself an identity by hearing its own echo, seeing itself in the mirror. This isn't quite right, but I don't know. Holographically projected, these two mirrors pointing at each other, or these two echoes forming like a, what's it called, a binaural beat, you know, with the, oh, I don't know, whatever, Moiré patterns. Yeah, anyway, yeah, doubling of consciousness. I think that's what's going on. quiet down here today, look, New Year's Day. That's where I'm going.